Hello everyone, I'm Jonas.
Testing.
No, we already test.
We just jumping in.
Yeah.
It's been long since I did this.
It's been
when
really
I tried
long.
to
It's
do
been
it.
4 months, but you are the most requested guest on my show, so it's good. It's good you are back. I'm back. Since I came back, it's only been 1 week, but I stayed in the W hotel. I wanted to share because we got me and my wife. We got a case.
I forgot to say congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. W Hotel is really amazing. It's next to Taipei 101. It's one of the huge hotel in Taiwan, and especially I wanted to talk about the toilet there because it's really fascinating for a Swedish person to use this kind of toilet. I'm sure it's Japanese. I'm sure it's not Taiwanese because the character are always in Japanese, you know. And you have the first thing, of course, you have xiao and da. Like it's a little controller. It's not on the toilet. It's just a little controller. Xiao and da. And this
when
is
you say xiao,
small.
what is being xiao and
Small.
what is being da?
I don't know. It's not.
No, like is it for the toilet? Like can it go like?
No. I mean, it depends on what you do.
Oh.
We call it number 1 or number 2
Oh, I got
in
it.
the rest of the world.
You would have said that.
Anyway, this is what we have in Sweden too. We separate. You can push a small or big, depending on what you did. But there are so many. So the first thing that was really, really like fascinating for me is that when you go inside there, actually the seat will go like. So.
Okay.
So
Like
I
when
thought
you
it's
just
such
enter.
a. Yeah, I think there's like a little laser in front of it, so you stand there and then it goes and also
Like,
when you are.
welcome.
yeah, I should say ni hao.
No.
No. Wow. It's too amazing. Bye bye. And it's not everything. This is not a sponsored video for toilets, but it could be. Because you also have like a button for playing like a cover of music, you know.
Really?
Yeah, like if you.
Oh boy.
Like it plays a small melody for what you are.
While you're doing your business.
Yeah, to like cover.
To relax you, you keep
No,
relaxing.
I think it's to cover up the sound for people outside, but it's also relaxing, so it works. It works in both ways. But this was Charlie's case. So she did like, oh wow, the view is so amazing here. The food is so amazing. All this kind of
the view, because this is 101 for crying out loud.
And at the same time, I was like in there, doing this on my Instagram story.
I think the music is amazing.
The way we shit in Sweden, like, well, I don't have running water, so we have like a little small special house where you go and you do what you want to do there, and then you go inside your house again. Yeah.
Why are you describing it like I don't know what you're saying? I come from Africa.
And any music you want to play in the toilet, you have to play yourself.
I think that hotel is the killer here. Seriously.
Okay, yeah, that's everything for today's video. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well.
Sorry. I wasn't ready.
It's okay.
Just one more time.
Okay. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hope you all are doing well. I'm Jonas.
And I'm Helen.
And today we got a little bit special video to shoot because I think we've both been in Taiwan for 3 years now, about 3 years, and there happen so many amazing things. It's really cool to discover this country, I think. But in 3 years, of course, there's gonna be like a few things that happens that are not maybe like totally positive. Yeah. So I thought today we're gonna share our shit basically. Our stories in Taiwan that we maybe like thought, oh, should we share this or not? But today, this is like a special episode. So today
we're bold enough to share this with you.
Yes, and hopefully you guys will still stay in my channel even after this video. Yeah. So yeah, let's get started. Helen, you're going on your phone, right?
Get off!
Wow, it's a new iPhone. Oh, but it only has 2.
You are not putting that on. Jonas, you want me to tell this story? I'm telling this story.
Because I know you had some contact in your... I know very little about this story. I just know you had some contact in your old line. Might be guys, might be girls. That you blocked.
Yes, I blocked a guy.
They were too impressed by you.
Oh my god.
But then you changed your phone. And there's some problem in line there, so they were unblocked again. How did this work out for you?
Jonas, you don't want me to talk about this story, really? Where are my glasses? I need to cover up a little bit before I say. You really want me to say this?
If you want. I don't even know the story. I just know the introduction to the story.
Introduction to the story.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's very hard for me to tell this story. Yeah, this is one of the bad experiences I had in Taiwan, that it doesn't even have a happy ending at the end. It is bad all the way.
Today we are getting this kind of stories out of the system. That is the purpose of today.
So I was around Nehu trying to, no, I'm not gonna say the place, cut it out.
Yeah.
I was one of those places, I go and decide no, let me go and sit. I just want a place where I can sit and use my laptop and maybe, drink something. So I say, I'll go to McDonald's. You're the one who discouraged me from going to McDonald's because I really liked going to McDonald's. Okay. But you told me, no, you can actually go to the coffee shop. So I checked. But originally, I like going to McDonald's.
I'm a huge fan of Burger King. These days, I go to Burger King all the time. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt you. Sorry. So
I see this guy eyeing me for a very long time. He's looking at me. And I'm like, I wonder why he's looking at me. In my mind, I always think that maybe somebody knows me. Or maybe they've seen me somewhere. And I don't want to be rude. No, I'm not really that famous. And I don't want to be rude. So sometimes, if they smile at me, I'll smile back. So this guy actually comes where I was sitting. I'm just going to make the story short. And he tells me, you know what? I make videos and...
He said that he makes videos. Was he a YouTuber?
This guy, I don't think is a YouTuber. If he was a YouTuber, his content should be explicit. Anyway, he told me that he makes videos for that, and he's into videos and stuff, and told me about if you're interested, because I just finished shooting that video of I don't know that song. That
You're
song.
Famous now, girl.
So yeah. I thought he had seen me, or maybe on one of those WTO shows, TV shows when I was doing WTO. So I thought he had seen me, on your show, anything. I just thought he had seen me.
So he had a connection to you.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah. So if you're interested, and then he was telling me about this black girl that he has met, who is from France, and he has worked with this girl, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't really help me because I don't know where this story is going. Yeah. And he's like, okay, so I can give you details of how we do it, and we should meet up. So not being rude, I exchanged my line with this guy.
Wow.
I know. This is Helen, how could you do that? Because I thought he knows me and I thought he has a business deal. Yeah. There are many nice people in Taiwan who will meet you on the road and say, I have this, I want you to come and do it. And you go and do it. And it's real, it's legit.
I think this happens more to foreigners than to Taiwanese. I don't think Taiwanese get stopped. Hey, you look like a nice guy. I got a deal for you. But it happens to foreigners. In Taiwan,
they will stop you and they say, I have a kid that I need you to help.
I have a deal.
They do this. For me, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Let's try this. Yeah. I gave him, we exchanged lines. And then he told me, let's meet up and talk. So the next time, I was around, then we met up. And he said, oh yeah, now I'll give you everything. This is very easy. The videos we shoot are very easy. They don't need a lot of work, and they're paying. They'll give you a lot of money, And then he's like, what we do, we shoot videos with nature, by the seaside. And I'm like, I'm like, be specific. What's the content, And then he pulls out his phone, and then pulls out one of okay, the content is like this, because he's shy kind of to tell me what the content is. Yeah. And then he pulls out his phone and then Googles one of the videos. And then shows me a video of, it's a blue movie, Okay. It is a blue movie. And I'm looking at the guy are you kidding me? And he's like, yeah, it is paying. And he's on this positive side of the paying, but I'm like, you just, what?
So he wants you to be naked, basically.
Yes.
In the video.
And to be active in the video as well, because he has met some other girl who did it for him. So he thinks that if I was like, the whole time I was there like, what is this?
And he was actively targeting black girls then, or what?
I believe this is what his target was. And then after he says, I tell him, you know what, I'm sorry, I cannot do this kind of business, I cannot do this kind of thing. And then he says, it's okay, it's not a problem if you don't want to do so. Can we take a selfie? I'm like, hell no, it's not happening.
I'm not showing up in your porn video. Okay, let's take a selfie.
So I blocked the guy, and then when I changed my phone, I saw the guy give me a call. I'm like, how did it happen? Does line unblock? I don't get it.
I don't know. I didn't even know this industry existed in Taiwan. I thought this was a Japanese.
Okay,
the Japanese industry. There I lost all my Japanese fans. Great. It was just my prejudice.
If you want to take part of it, we can unblock him and then give him a course.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And then we shall let Charlie know that Jonah's business is advancing.
I want to stay a virgin.
He's experiencing new ground.
No, I'm happy with my videos the way they are. I'm happy with my content. I don't want to show more. I don't know how we can top this story.
Seriously, you're gonna get this story is not gonna be there.
I had one thing that is, it's just food related. There are so many crazy experiences with food. I think when you're a foreigner in Taiwan, but the craziest one that I had was in Kaohsiung.
Yeah.
I went to Kaohsiung with my girlfriend at the time, wife now.
Okay.
It's important to keep this distinction. And she had been talking for so long time that they had such a good hot pot there that she really wanted to eat. And of course, it's a chou tofu hot pot. Like, what else can it be when we talk about Taiwanese food, right? And that place we came to, like, I think she went there when she was like 12 or 13 because she remember like, oh, it's a huge restaurant. It's really clean. It's really nice. I'm sure at that time it was, but now it was a shack.
I think I know. Yeah.
It was a shack, and the place where so we stand in line. It's a super popular shack actually, and they position us under what's called a staircase. Yeah. So we sit under a staircase. I feel like Harry Potter. My legs didn't really fit. They were just like totally
I'm already imagining this.
Yeah, and we got this two little hot pots on the little gas burner, you know. Yeah. Put it on there, and it's chou tofu. It's duck blood. It's miege. You know, they mix duck blood and chou tofu. Did you ever try this combination?
No, I think I'm not trying it in my mind already. Okay.
It's like the two worst parts of Taiwanese cuisine for foreigners, and they decided to make this into a hot pot, which is like the best way to mix it, and miege and everything. And I eat this. I try to be polite. You know, it was at the time I really tried to be polite, and yeah, it was really a tough experience. And I eat all the stinky tofu and the duck blood. You know, you say good food. Getting married, do you have this expression in your country? Like if you have something really tasty together, like a coffee and chocolate is marrying each other. This food is divorcing, you know. Duck blood and chou tofu.
They're divorcing.
They are divorcing. It was really a very tough and terrible taste for me. And I ate it, and I finished maybe half of it. So I thought it was pretty strong.
Wow.
Yeah, because I really my mindset in the beginning is I really try to integrate, try to try all the food, talk with all the people, you know. Yeah. So anyway, I almost ate half, and we went back to the hotel in Kaohsiung where we were staying, and my stomach was so upset, you know, it's really, really upset. And we went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning. I was feeling better in the morning, so I was pretty happy. I was feeling better. Then I got up, and then there came this burp, you know. And this was like the burp from the deep hell, you know. I just burped, and all this smell of duck blood, chou tofu, hot pot came up again, and that was my single most disgusting experience in Taiwan that I wanted to share. So still when I smell chou tofu sometimes I get this you know, you get like a deja vu, like a flashback to that I get a flashback to that Kaohsiung chou tofu duck blood hot pot. That was my toughest experience. That was my toughest mountain to climb so far.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. It's a different thing when you smell it today, but when it goes with you to the next day. Yeah. In the morning when you burp and then
I thought I was good, but then it just came up again, yeah. Still, you know, I still have this, like, it's a memory.
Oh my god.
You know, I heard something, I heard in science that if you have a kid, that if you have like a really strong experience and you have some fear and some bad memory connected to this, that your kid can actually like inherit this feeling. So that kid, even my kid, I heard up to 2 generations, you know, 2 generations.
Okay.
My grandkid gonna go to that restaurant because I'm sure it's still gonna be there because there was a lot of customer there. My grandkid gonna go there, have this smell, it's gonna be thrown back 2 generations, you know, it's gonna get my flashback in that moment. It's true, it's science. The kid can actually inherit your fear.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my most upsetting.
Well, thank you for telling me. Otherwise, I would want to try this as well. So I was going to Xinjiang. It was late in the night. and there are two gentlemen that walked into the MRT, and I think these two gentlemen, one of them, they were both drunk, but I think one was a little bit drunk beyond average, okay?
Yeah.
And he seemed like he wasn't feeling so good, and they just stood right next to me, because I was seated, but they just stood right next to me. And then what happened is, I could tell this guy wasn't feeling good at all, and he was trying to he wanted to throw up, but he was trying to like control it so hard. But I think time came, was just like, you know what, I can't help you anymore. And then he just let go and he threw up in the MRT.
Oh, really? Was he drunk?
He was, I think he was drunk.
Yeah.
Because I could a little bit smell a little bit of, you know, the smell of booze and everything. But I think he was drunk. They were both drunk perhaps, but one was a little bit more drunk. Mm-hmm. So when he threw up, like everybody, like people who were standing around, everybody ran. You know, like, people running, this one runs inside, the other runs the other. Like everybody, like as though you say, you know, like there's a bomb here, like boom, and then everybody from every direction.
Yeah, of course.
And then I didn't run. My instinctively I was like, okay, why is everybody running? Because for me, if somebody's throwing up wouldn't make me run immediately. But of course, I like moved my foot, but I was thinking, okay, what is there anything wrong? Do they know something that I don't know or something?
Yeah.
But this is what surprised me most. You know, like people who were around ran, but there were some ladies and some men like who remained there, and they reached out into their bags. They got napkins. Napkins, are they called? No, tissue.
Yeah.
Thank you. They got tissue.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they started cleaning.
Oh, really?
I am not joking.
They start to clean up
They started to push it so that it doesn't spread, because if it spreads, it's gonna mess the whole MRT.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
I was touched. I was like, wow. Like I myself, I couldn't think of that. I wouldn't run, but I wouldn't think of, oh, let me get tissue and do this. I was like, this is super amazing. Like people, everybody, they don't even know each other. They don't even know the two guys who are standing there. They just reached out into their bags and got tissue and started pushing. And then they pressed, what's that bell called? Emergency something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people, like, the next stop, they came in and then they did the rest of the cleaning. But I was moved. I was touched by that. I was like, you know, I thought Taiwanese people cared, but I sure didn't know that they cared to this level, you know?
Yeah, I think that is also really, really incredible and very efficient, and that they go down and clean up, because of course you get messy. If you have tissue, you cannot avoid getting messy doing anything like this.
They didn't touch, but if you could, you know, they would like they put the tissue down and then use like their shoes to push it. But either way, considering that people got scared and some ran away.
That, you know, in Sweden, that would happen. People would walk away from there.
Many, not even one, but many.
What they maybe would do is maybe they would push the emergency button.
Mm-hmm.
That is like everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is really, really incredible.
It was incredible. Like those guys got off from the next. I think they got off on the next stop. From the next stop, they got off the MRT. Yeah. But they left me thinking. Like I was just like, wow. For all these guys who are standing there to do this for somebody they don't even know, I'm not leaving Taiwan.
Yeah, that's no. It's really a strong story. I can almost not imagine that wouldn't happen in Sweden. Like we don't have that. Like of course we are helpful to strangers, but we are not like self-sacrificing to strangers. I think this behavior is a little bit like self-sacrificing. Like you really push to help out in this situation.
I don't know if you've heard of this, Jonah, but there are quite a lot of Taiwanese who say that when we foreigners say that Taiwanese are very, very good to people, like they're naturally very polite. They say that Taiwanese are actually polite to foreigners, but they're not really polite to themselves.
This is what I.
But when I saw this,
I
was like, okay, this is not just being polite. This is a heart. This is love, like beyond. Like this is not just what they think that maybe they're a little bit they're not as kind to their own. No, for me this was touching. I just can't forget it.
It's really a good story. I just want to say that I hope when you guys watch this video, like we really like to be in Taiwan. We had so many positive experiences here. We've been here for 3 years. Of course, like we really love it here, so that's the reason we want to stay. But sometimes some situations happen that is obviously not just positive. Also in Taiwan, just like anywhere. So the purpose of today's episode is not like trash on Taiwan. It's just to show that shit happens here, shit happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
anything negative can happen to you anytime.
And thank you so much for coming today.
You're
Please
always welcome, Jonas.
follow Helen on her Instagram and her YouTube channel.
It
Just
freaks
starting
me
up.
out when you do that.
Her YouTube channel has been starting now for 2 years. We are still waiting. The videos are coming. If you like this kind of content, please also subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.